These people are not queuing to see a movie, they're queuing to see a work of art. The Cremaster Cycle is a series of 5 films with barely a line of dialogue. They're the product of the imagination of one man, writer, director, sculptor, video artist Matthew Barney, who also plays many of the parts in his own work. These are some of the highlights. A fleet of Chevrolets attack a vintage saloon car in a marble foyer. A rock star covered in bees sings a heavy metal song. And 3 fairies fit a pink wheel with testicles onto a racing bike. I've come to New York to try to find out what the Cremaster Cycle means. Its images are dazzling, marvelous, and bewildering. Every story, every scene, and every character in the Cremaster carries a specific message. But only the initiated know the true meaning of the revelation. The Cremaster Cycle is not only 5 feature-length videos. The Guggenheim is now the location for an exhibition which has toured Paris, Cologne and London. There are photographs, drawings, sculptures, all by Barney. At the centre of the museum's atrium, at the top, are 5 video screens. Awed visitors look up at it like pilgrims witnessing a divine apparition. Many have come to admire. All are seeking to understand.
What does it mean?
No, that's not a good question.
It's not a good question.
It's the evil spawn of the Vatican and a DIY shop.
We have no more bearded lady. We have no more Siamese twins doing a tap dance. So we have to come here instead.
What does it remind you of?
I don't know.
The videos star a cast of giants and goblins, satyrs and fairies, cowboys and gangsters. They took 8 years to complete. Strange materials add another layer to the work. Drawings are framed in surgical plastics. Sculptures are carved in Vaseline.
Touch it.
No, you can't touch art.
Oh, go ahead. We're in New York.
No,
Rules are made to be broken, right? Right, now, give me your hand.
Oh, dear me. Oh, I know what that is. Yes, Vaseline. Like New York's art lovers, I was beginning my own quest to understand this work of art. But unlike them, I'd read the catalogue. I knew that the Cremaster Cycle was an allegory about life and art. This is what it is really about, the early evolution of the human embryo as male or female. Characters move up and down in an echo of the journey of the gonads, the cells which determine the sex of the embryo, up to become ovaries and down to become testicles. To the evolution of human biology, Barney adds another theme, human creativity. His characters are always making art, building, singing and dancing. And it all adds up to a vision of the meaning of life itself.
I don't think it's about good or bad. I don't think there's a judgment. I mean, it's a universe of total perversity, and it exalts perversity as a space of pure potential, of unending possibility.
Nancy Spector was the high priestess of Cremaster. I was just a novice monk. I headed for the most dramatic location of the Cremaster Cycle, the Chrysler Building. I was keen to test the small amount that I knew on a member of Barney's inner circle.
We had grandiose plans for this building. We were going to use it thoroughly from the ground arcade all the way through to mounting ribbons on the spire. We never really asked why the Chrysler Building in particular. We're not there to understand the art necessarily. We're more there just to make it ready for Matthew.
The cremaster is full of repeating patterns that reflect the theme of the early days of the human embryo. Barney uses the horns of a ram and goalposts as symbols of the journey of the gonads. The name of the work comes from the cremaster muscle, which raises and lowers the testicles. And in Cremaster 3, Barney scales lift shafts. If we think about the cremaster cycle, and right now the gonads are going up.
Okay.
Is that in the cycle?
If that were true, then what would be the down?
All the cars crashing in the basement.
Maybe. You'll have to ask Matthew. I don't think that's it. I don't...
Barney did not make the cremaster single-handed. Chelsea led a production team of 40 people, including set designers, makeup artists, a director of photography and a composer. The cremaster was video art on a Hollywood scale, but without the Hollywood budgets.
It's going to be windy in here for your microphone. We were forced to carry everything up these stairs.
What did everything mean?
Everything? All the camera gear, a dummy of Matthew Barney, all of the prosthetic makeups, gear and hoses and liquid blood and all of the 4x8 sheets of plywood to build the grass mound. I can't tell you, jib arms, 400 pounds of weights to offset the jib arm.
In Cremaster 3, the Chrysler Building becomes a cinematic world with zombies in the basement, car crashes on the ground floor, and gangsters presiding over a dental torture scene in the penthouse. Finally, the construction of the skyscraper is celebrated with an Irish maypole dance on top of a Celtic burial mound in the spire of the Chrysler Building.
At this point, the ribbons had spit out from the top of the spire, and they were blowing around, weaving the building.
What did that mean?
Well, we're not supposed to talk about meaning, remember?
It's mad. It's just mad. You've got no idea where we are. No idea. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We got on top of the Chrysler Building.
This is ours. This is Barney property. So is that little flower there. We had everyone in harnesses, roped in at the tops, leaning out these triangulated windows. So I had a bullhorn, and I was on with maybe cell phone with Matthew, who was in the helicopter, and then we would have everyone pass to the right, and so everybody's passing to the right. Everybody switch and pass to the left.
Sometimes you must think, this is some really crazy shit.
It's always crazy shit. It's been crazy shit since the beginning, 7 years ago. It's never stopped being crazy shit.